Not a fun one today, folks. This video is uniquely American. The annual Consumer Electronics Show was held in Las Vegas, Nevada just this past weekend. It's a technology convention where you're pretty well guaranteed to see some oddities. This year, however, generative AI in the form of large language models was everywhere. LLMs are an item I forgot to mention in my video talking about AI in gaming, but in summary, an LLM is a predictive text engine built on the rules of the designer's mother tongue, but it's less like taking words from a mental corpus to create a sentence, and more like arranging dominoes to knock down. ChatGPT is an incredibly complex LLM with an image generator directly attached to it, making it a total and utter plagiarism machine. It is built on anything and everything that OpenAI could scrape off the web. I mention that because Robert Evans was at CES. He's got multiple episodes of Behind the Bastards where his views on the matter are front and center, documenting the circle of people pushing this crap. He went there as a journalist, and one of his posts on Blue Sky caught my eye. For a CES panel, Intuit CMO Robert Renees is proud of his company's integration with OpenAI, which involves giving AI read-write access to tax data. Fuck. And the second half. Since prompt injection attacks are unavoidable, I asked him who will be liable when customer data is exposed. Intuit, OpenAI, etc.? He had no idea.
Shame.
I'm gonna go beat my head against the wall. Oh, good lord, this is a lot to talk about. Okay, in the fucked up tax system that the US has to deal with, we do our own calculations, send it to the IRS, and then they decide if it's right or wrong. Usually we get money back, but if we make mistakes, then we owe them everything we failed on, plus interest, and they'll sue us for it. This has led to an industry of tax preparing specialists who, for a fee, will find whatever they can to make sure you get every possible bit of cash out of your return. Intuit is one of the biggest companies behind self-service software with more consistent annual releases of TurboTax than of Assassin's Creed. And I hadn't realized this, but they partnered with OpenAI to feed all their information, including taxpayers personally identifying information, to ChatGPT. You know how T was busted for using an unsecured Amazon server for their memberships? This is many times worse. Now, the following is not an endorsement of abusing LLMs. This is only for the purposes of disseminating information so that you, as a consumer, can make a decision on what to do in the future. Not for you to get any funny ideas. Anything that you do is on you. Got it? Good. With that out of the way, a prompt injection attack is a form of cyber attack, according to IBM Think, where an attacker finds a way to get around any guardrails built into an LLM. Ignore previous instructions has been used since the software's inception. When Twitter's AI had first come on scene, it didn't let you generate pornographic images of women because the platform wanted you to respect women. So if you add respectfully to the prompt, it would generate it anyway. In this case, if TurboTax has an LLM-run chatbot and you had all the information bar a couple of details on someone, you could use a prompt injection attack to force the language model to ignore its guardrails and provide you with the rest of that missing data. It's easier social engineering than pretending to be someone over the phone, and begs the question that Evans asked: who is liable? This is one of the many dangers of generative AI that I failed to mention, but it doesn't stop there. Thus, I am urging any and all of you to leave Twitter. I don't care why you're there. You need to leave and delete your account, especially if you're an artist, especially if you are a woman, trans or cis, especially if you post pictures of your kids on your social media accounts. You need to leave and never look back. Defiance will do nothing. Twitter's AI has been granted the ability to edit images by prompts alone. Anything posted on the platform is fed into these systems and is used without anyone's consent to create porn, including child sexual abuse material. I cannot put my complete fury into words. If we had a functional government, Elon Musk would lose his security clearance, all his assets would be frozen, his plane grounded, and a warrant would be issued for his arrest under RICO for this and so much more. This man does not deserve to see the light of day and should have been completely discredited long before he lied about Vernon Unsworth. Instead, through unholy partnership, his very platform is now a battleground for this very kind of cyber attack thanks to SecDef. I'm not responsible for your stupid decision making. I know it's asking a lot for you to cease using entire platforms and suites of software. However, this is a moral imperative in order to combat this evil. We need to attack their bottom line. I understand how hard it is to completely disconnect from a space or service you've always used. When I closed my Spotify, Instagram, Threads, and other accounts, it was a complete expulsion of so much of my online history and a total reset for everything I'd ever done on there. I still have one Instagram account and 3 TikTok accounts that I have no access to, but they're pulling in no data, so they can probably just float in liminal hell for all I care. But you need to pick and choose your battles, sadly. I know there's something to be said about continuing to upload on YouTube. Alphabet is powering genocide all the same as Microsoft since removing their Don't Be Evil slogan. They choose instead to chase the almighty dollar instead of investing into security for the sheer amount of biometric data they have in anyone and everyone who types even one search, much less that they're all in on the generative AI express with Gemini. But YouTube is used by everyone for the sheer glut of user-made entertainment. The platform's existence challenges the status quo that news can only be reported by privileged people. You get people like Ricky Hayberg and Elliot Dewberry at Internet Today. You get origins of Alex Jones rants from Oki's Weird Stories. You get people willing to dive into fringe topics for the sake of debunking and analysis like Folding Ideas. You get your crazy Uncle Ross from Toledo creating an entire consumer movement as more and more video games become lost media. And there's certainly some good for using social media, whether it's for information about local events, weather, or news. But ultimately, you are the product on a service offered for free. And if you want to completely and fully unplug from the worst of the mainstream internet, then good luck with that. There's an ongoing boycott against Amazon for extreme union busting, flagrant disregard for labor laws, and Jeff Bezos just being a rich jackass. But what they make on their storefront is a pittance compared to their web services division. Consequently, most of what you can access on the internet is supported by Amazon. You cannot fully boycott them without completely disconnecting from the web. And good luck getting disabled people to stop using Amazon, because that's a fucking lifeline. We are risking either abandoning our independence for closing our account or our autonomy and financial status by asking people to take our card and shop for us. In a perfect world, we wouldn't risk either. But we sure as hell don't live in a perfect world. My point here is for you to remember how large swaths of the internet were down for anything between distributed denial of service attacks to simple hardware malfunctions when Amazon Web Services, Google Cloud Services, Cloudflare Web Services, and other cloud service providers all went down last year. Your best security practices will not stop a direct infrastructure attack. And if you remove the cooling from Twitter's AI server farms, all of that hardware fries. So we're stuck between a rock and a hard place, relying on infrastructure that can be attacked and brought down at any time, while we're exploited online for everything that we do. And yet, there's that piece of good on the internet, where you can truly unite with other people and enjoy yourself. Peacefully and cordially. Going into 2026, I hope that I can be that space. So, required reading and watching this time, Alana Pierce's video, Now We're Undressing Minors with AI. While I can't put my fury into words on this issue, she did, including talking about her own experience. An article from the Wall Street Journal about buying a live fish from an AI agent vending machine. This is kind of wild. And IBM Think's talk about prompt injection attacks. Now, if you don't mind, I've got other projects in the oven, and 2 of them are about Digimon. Thanks for watching. If you like what I have to say, why don't you click subscribe and hit that bell so you know when I upload my next video. Dropping a like would be wonderful, and if you got something to say, leave it in the comments section down below. And if you want to see more and want to support me, why don't you check out my Patreon and maybe donate $1 a month. Until next time.